Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So after my last YouTube video, I received a comment from Dragostea1511. Thank you for your comment. And she asked, since therapists are trained in different schools of thought, how do you know which therapist you should go to? And it's a really good question because it's true. There are different schools of thought, like there's psychodynamic, there's narrative, there's existential, there's gestalt, there's CBT. So, which one do you go to? Wait, how should I explain this? Okay, different schools of thought approach clients in different ways. So, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, is going to look at your cognitions and how those affect your behavior. So CBT increases awareness of your thoughts and your behavior, which is great. And it can be really good for things like depression. So I noticed that my thoughts are causing me to stay alone and are causing me to not go outside, so I can challenge those thoughts. Now, I like CBT and I use it sometimes, but I don't limit myself to CBT because I do feel it can be limiting on its own. So, for example, if I'm working with someone who has depression, I might decide to bring in some existential therapy. So, existential therapy was created by Viktor Frankl. He's the psychiatrist who wrote the book A Man's Search for Meaning. If you haven't read it, it's a beautiful, beautiful book. It's really short, but it really makes you appreciate life. He survived a concentration camp. He was in a concentration camp during the Second World War, and he writes about that, about his experience there, and about people who survived, the people who didn't, and what kept him going. And then when he got out, he actually found, when the war was over and he got out, he actually found that everybody he loved had died. And this man actually came out with existential therapy. And existential therapy is all about searching for meaning, it's searching for purpose. And he says that so long as your life has a sense of purpose, you can live with almost any situation. So it's really beautiful. So sometimes I might bring that in. But again, existential on its own, it's beautiful, you can do a lot with it, but sometimes it lacks structure, which is what CBT gives. Freud's baby, psychoanalysis, so useful for looking at what's happening unconsciously, looking at the dynamics of within, the internal struggles, what stops you from being authentic. So beautiful. Sometimes psychodynamic falls short in the sense that it gives you loads of catharsis, which is great, so you can express yourself. But then it kind of struggles afterwards. It's like, okay, what do we do now? So the client needs some direction. And okay, I don't just want to know that I'm a bit messed up sexually. I want to know what to do about it. I want to get better or whatever. So I think so there's so many different kinds of therapy. Obviously, let me tell you about Gestalt, because I'm a Gestalt therapist, and Gestalt is about, it has a phenomenological approach. So we're in the here and now with the client, and we see how the issue unfolds in the present moment. And we use the body as well, which is something that CBT doesn't do. So we listen to the body, what's happening inside the body, because emotions are such bodily experiences, and we are physical beings for the moment, anyway. So when it comes to choosing a therapist, I think it's less important what school they belong to, because every school has its pros and cons. And in reality, if your therapist is a good therapist, um, they're not going to be limiting themselves like within a box. Like, yes, I am trained as a Gestalt psychotherapist, but as I said, I will use CBT, I will use existential, I will use narrative, whatever I feel works for my client in that moment, I will try. When choosing a therapist, choose someone you feel you can connect to. Okay, like when I say this, I don't mean go in and expect to tell them your entire life story, you know, in the first session, but just go seeing if you feel, okay, this is someone I can get along with. If you sit down there and you spend an hour with this person and you think, this person's really boring, or this person, like, I don't buy what they're saying, they're probably not the therapist for you. But if you go in and you think, hey, this person's pretty cool, or she really listened well and I liked that, or, you know, like you need to click. It's a bit like choosing a doctor. There are some doctors who just barely listen to you and give you a diagnosis. For me, those are not my kind of doctors. But then I've gone to a doctor. There's one doctor in particular I'm thinking of. He's a breathing specialist. But he's so incredibly well read. And I can tell just from the way he talks. And I mean, yes, he sorted out my breathing. Thanks to him, I breathe so much better. He cleared up my acne, like not something a breathing specialist usually does. He helped me with my sleep. He helped me with fibromyalgia. Like, he's just super well read, and a therapist is the same, you know? Like, so it's more about choosing someone you click with, choosing someone who is well read, choosing a therapist who lives what they do. They don't just do it, they love it, you know? They love it, because if they love it, they're gonna keep evolving, they're gonna keep learning, they're gonna be curious about you, and they're gonna want to help you. So yeah, just choose someone you click with, and see how it goes, and you'll be able to tell whether it's working or not, because you'll feel it. You'll feel whether you're making progress or not. You know whether your quality of life is improving. Um, yeah. So how can you find a therapist? You can speak to friends. Maybe a friend of yours has gone to a therapist, or know someone who has, and you can ask them, you know, what was your experience like? Did you like the person? And get a feel, you know, maybe it's for you, maybe not. Or you could speak to your doctor. Maybe your doctor has a recommendation. Yeah, if you decide to start therapy, it's not always fun, but it does help. Make sure to watch my next video. We're gonna have a super amazing giveaway, loads of gifts. So make sure to tune into that. And until then, have a super good day, and I'm sending you all love. Ciao, ciao. Oh yeah, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more psychotherapy related videos. Well, less psychotherapy and more life related videos on how to live a healthy, happy life, and some other fun stuff too. So, see you later.